Today I decided I wanted to make some little fry box type holders that didn't require any patterns or dies. So I thought I would show you what I made and how I made it. Hey guys, it's Beth, welcome. So I wanted to make some little holders, like fry box type holders, but I wanted to try doing it without using my silhouette or a die. And so I found a post on Pinterest, believe it was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I will link it below. And I used some cardstock just to kind of test out the design, kind of work out the kinks. And so I changed mine slightly from the original pin that I saw. And so I just wanted to share with you kind of how I made them. I wanted to make some more using pattern paper. Still working on my pumpkin spice pad, and thought I would make some with you today using just the pattern paper instead of cardstock decorated with pattern paper. So I will pull out some pieces that I think would work well. I believe they need to be kind of non-directional because this is all one sheet, and once you fold it, unless you're covering part of it, part of it will be upside down. So I'm going to flip through my papers, see if I can't find some non-directional patterns that I think might work that are fall themed, and then we'll jump back in here and make some of these holders together. So I found several patterns that I liked, and they are trimmed down to 8.5 by 5.5 inches. And now we need to do some scoring. We're going to score on that long side at 1 inch and 4.5 inches. And then we're going to turn it to the side and score at 3 and 4. So this is 1 and 4.5, and then now we're going at 3 and 4. And that just helps create the sides of our box and then the kind of bottom fold as well. I will finish scoring these last few, and then we will work on putting a box together. So we have all of our score lines, and we're going to go ahead and fold them up, and then we need to do a little trimming. The little squares there, they need to be cut so that we can actually fold those in. And then I decided I wanted to trim off the corners at the top just to give the box a little more shape. So when we glue it together, it's up to you if you want to glue those short flaps on the inside or the outside. I preferred to have them on the outside so that the front had a more seamless look, but then those are like visible on the side. So that choice is up to you. But you take those little flaps that you cut and you're going to glue those to the back. I used some Barely Arts wet glue here. You just want something that is going to be nice and strong and last. Here I am then folding those shorter flaps onto the outside. And like I said, it just kind of gives it a more seamless look from the front, but then on the side you can see that shorter piece. I chose to live with that. I'm just using my bone folder to kind of help burnish the glue down, make sure it's going to dry and hold, and that is our basic box. So you can see it does resemble a fry box, it's just not as rounded, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and finish folding all the rest of my boxes. Just kind of folding in on the score lines, cutting all those flaps, and then angling the top corners. And you can see I kind of got into a rhythm here of the order of everything that I did, just so that I could continuously turn my boxes and keep a rhythm going. Again, gluing those flaps and burnishing, and then gluing the outside flaps and burnishing. And these went together really quick. And like you can see that I just totally did them in an assembly line process. And I don't think I mentioned it before, the post that I originally saw this from, it is Angie Pius, Stamping with Amore, and she is a Stampin' Up, or was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so I will link her post below. She gives cut and scoring dimensions, but then she doesn't talk about construction of the boxes or anything. It's just like a little printable with the cut and scoring guide. So I decided it'd be helpful to share how I folded mine up. Finishing up these last ones here, and now we get to move on to the fun part of decorating. Now, ideally, it probably would have been smart to decorate before I did all of the folding, but I kind of wanted to get in fold up so that I could see. It's just easier to see the space I was working with. I took a 2 1/4 inch scallop circle punch and cut into one of those full 12 by 12 page images, and then I used scraps of it was like a 6 by 6 cut apart there to stamp my Got Pumpkin on, and then I took one of the pumpkin patterns and just focused on the pumpkins, and I believe it was a 1 3/4 inch punch that I was able to just center those pumpkins perfectly and kind of make myself a little focal point. So I'm just adding my pumpkins onto the scallop circles, and then I can work on adding everything to the front of my boxes. So just doing a quick glue, and I'm holding it together, and then decide that since it's a bigger piece that I kind of wanted to burnish it underneath, or from the inside a little bit. Again, if I would have decorated these before I folded them together, this would have been so much easier, but it really wasn't that bad. So I'm going to speed things up again here since you've seen me do the first one. The rest of them are pretty much all the same. All right, my holders are made. Now what am I going to do with them? I'm going to stuff them with all kinds of pumpkin spice goodies. So I've done these for a few years and they sell fairly well, and on the off chance that they don't, my family does not mind one bit, because then we have a bunch of pumpkin spice flavored snacks and candies left that we all enjoy. So what I put in these every year changes because it all depends on what I can find, and it seems the past few years the pumpkin spice options have gotten less and less. So I kind of just start searching at the beginning of September, at my grocery store, Target, Walmart, Amazon, Meijer, all of the places around me plus Amazon, just to see what kind of pumpkin spice goodies I could find that would fit in something like this. So I have pumpkin spice oatmeal, which is from Target. Some pumpkin spice hot cocoa mix by Swiss Miss. And then, I have not found these before, but they are a chewy granola bar by Sunbelt Bakery, and it is pumpkin spice flavor, and they're actually pretty good. And then just some candies this year. So the Werther's almost always has a pumpkin spice flavor. New this year was pumpkin pie Kit Kat. So those were new. And then also, I think last year was the first year I found it. It's Dove. And it's like a white chocolate pumpkin pie flavor from Dove. So I may stick a few Werther's and then a few of the Doves in there. There wasn't a ton of Kit Kats in the bag, so we'll see how far that goes. But that is what I would pack in them. And as far as bagging, I'm going to see if they fit in these. This is a 5 1/4 ish by 8-inch bag. So I'll just see if I can fit this in there. It does fit. And then I can seal it up. So there we go. Pricing, I'm not sure yet. I need to go back through and calculate what I paid for all of the individual items. And then, you know, it was nothing for the holder and like the paper, putting that together. It didn't take much time at all, but the price is really in what all goes in there. So I need to kind of go, I kept track of what I paid for like the packages. I just need to go through and kind of itemize what each individual item would cost, add up what the total is, and then kind of price it from there. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I have also done them in cinnamon and apple cinnamon before. Not as popular as the pumpkin, but just an additional idea. And again, it's all based on, you know, what you can find in your area and how much it all costs. So that is my project for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, got some inspiration and some ideas. Thank you so very much for your time today, and hope you all have a crafty day.